All right, hello everybody. Sorry it's been a while. It's been almost 2 months now since I've put a video up. Been really busy around the house. I got to get all the things done to keep the wife happy and get the spring maintenance done on the house. Also, I had a rather large garden again that I put in, and we did a lot of things differently than we did last year. And so basically, I spent the last 5 weeks outside working on the house and garden. So really haven't gotten much done as far as the diorama is concerned. Here we're looking at the latest section that I'm working on. You've seen it in the last update. Really hasn't changed much. Everything's working on it. Getting the kind of fitting out for tanks, and I got to get a smokestack, which I'll probably get an HO scale one from Walther's, and use that. I think it'll be just fine. But the next thing, next major thing is the chain link fence that goes. It'll go down this way along here. They have the gates here, and then it'll go down to the end over there. And I'm using Luke Towen's method of making chain link fence, and he recommended making, on his video, he recommended making a jig. So I grabbed some scrap wood, and since I have two different measurements that I have to do, I made two different places to cut so that I can keep my cuts consistent. This side is 1.5 inches. You just like Luke did, you have one piece of wood offset as a stop, and you can just go right up against that. And I'm doing this one-handed, so it might not work as good. I went down to the local Ace Hardware store and bought a Lineman's pliers. It's very important to have a proper pliers. Now this one's probably, I'm just going to do this to kind of show how it's done, but normally I would use both hands, but right now I got one hand on the, one hand on the thing, so we'll just, and of course it flew onto the floor, but no worries, I got a bunch of other ones here. Nice thing I like about this Lineman's pliers is that it has a fairly decent cut on it. I won't have to sand too much down. You can kind of see, it's hard to see it. Let's see if I get, I'm using my phone right now, so. But you can see that the ends, are fairly even. Not a whole lot of filing to do on these. I'll just dress them down the file a little bit. But I have a whole lot of these to make because, as you've seen, I have quite a bit of fence to do. But yeah, that's the jig right there. I just screwed it together, measured out what it is, did a little math here. One thing I found is that, you really, if you want things to look right, you really need to know what the size is in real life. So I did some research on commercial chain link fences and discovered that most chain link fences are 6 feet high. They do run higher, they can run higher, but just on the average, most of them are around 6. And then you add an extra foot for the barbed wire, so 7 feet high. Some places have 8, some more, but I'm going to run with a 6-foot high fence. My research tells me that is the most common sized, and what's important is you get it close to actual size as you can. So watch Luke Towen's video on how to do this, because that's basically what I'm doing. So if you want to learn how, I'll show kind of how it's coming along, but I'm not going to do an instructional video on this. But this is basically just how I did it. So anyways, I measured the size, basically got the measurements, and found that most, your uprights are going to be 8 feet high, because you got that extra foot up, and then I'm putting an extra foot down on the bottom to act as a base so I can drill into the base of there and just plug it in like a pin. But I'm only going to do a couple of those because otherwise they're real hard to line up. So I'll have one on either end of it, and then it should stand. This is pretty sturdy wire. And what these things are is these little flags I got from Menards. I got like 100 of them or so in a pack. They're for like marking, you know, power line or whatever you got to mark or something like that. But the wire is perfect and it's nice and straight. You don't have to pre-straighten the wire like if you bought it in a coil. And I did have a coil of wire that's about the same diameter, and I tried to straighten it and it just did not want to straighten. I ended up pulling my dang workbench halfway across the floor trying to get enough onto that wire to pull it. And it still wouldn't straighten out. So that's even with it in a vise and wrapping the wire in, you know, and so I got a real good grip and pulling it straight, and it still did not want to seem to do it. So I found these in my garage that I had for the garden. I'm like, hey, wait a minute, this is the same diameter as the coiled stuff, and it's already straight. So that would save you a lot of time and aggravation. So basically on this side, I have the 8-foot section to cut, and over here is for 7-footers. You know, so you can go either side. I don't have to, you know, mess around. And now that I got this, because I am going to be doing other chain link fences in the future, now I got it. I don't have to build another one. Basically, everything else is just working on that, getting that straight. I do have a few repairs to do on the diorama that I'm going to have to get done. A few lights that burned out. Still got to build the Chevy sign, but I have a better idea of what I want to do. I just got to talk to my buddy Dave down at Dave's Decals and see if he can whip me up a 3D printed sign. And if you can do that, then that'll make my life a little easier. And so that's basically it for now. Again, I'm really sorry I haven't updated lately, and I hope to get more updates up. You know, I always try to get one a week, but it's just been with doing this garden, and I just didn't have anything to really show you guys, and I just didn't want to come up with bullshit. So anyways, so please stay tuned. We are going to be doing more. Please like and subscribe, share the video if you would, and share all my videos. Trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers. Right now I'm over 700, so I'm almost there. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Please hit the little icon so you get notifications, and share. I always appreciate that. I really do. I'm just a little guy doing this on my own, and I just want to teach people how to make one like mine, and show off basically. So all right, you guys have a good one. I'll see you next time.